Okay, second video of the week for the causes of the First World War. Today I'm going to be talking about the Bosnian Crisis. It's going to be quite a quick video because really the Bosnian Crisis is quite a straightforward and easy to understand event, I think anyway. I think maybe there's a bit of confusion for some of you because Bosnia is a country in the Balkans and a lot of things happen in the Balkans, so maybe it's you're kind of getting confused about that. The actual Bosnian Crisis itself is, you know, as I say, quite easy to understand. I think not a great deal happens. It's a fairly small event in terms of what actually happens, but the effects of it are quite big, or very big actually. Now, as I say, Bosnia is in the Balkans. There you go, Bosnian Crisis 1908 to 1909. Now Bosnia is here, okay, in the Balkans. So there's Austria-Hungary, and as we know, well, as part of this crisis, Bosnia does get swallowed up by Austria-Hungary. But Bosnia is there, Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania, Greece down here. We've got lots of different countries there in the Balkans, but that's where Bosnia is, okay? Now, Bosnia, as I say, is there. Now, it had been part of the Ottoman Empire down here, the Turkish Empire. So, if I've got that written down here, just in case you don't know how to spell Ottoman. So Bosnia had been part of the Ottoman Empire or the Turkish Empire. You can put either, really. Both answers are acceptable. Now, the Ottoman Empire had been a very large empire, very powerful empire, but it had been breaking up in the late 19th and early 20th centuries with places like, as I say, Serbia, Bulgaria, places like that gaining independence. Now, you may remember that the Ottoman Empire had earned a bit of a nickname at the time. It was known as the sick man of Europe. Sick man, or sick thing, because it was essentially dying, you know, breaking up. It had been this massive empire and it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller as these countries like Bosnia and Serbia and Bulgaria you know, became independent and became separate, no longer part of the Ottoman Empire. So that's why it's called the sick man of Europe. Now, in 1908, just get the right card for you. In 1908, Austria-Hungary kind of seized this opportunity, really, with the Ottoman Empire breaking up. Austria-Hungary thought, right, here's our chance to kind of add more land to our empire. Remember, that's one of Austria-Hungary's kind of aims in Europe. They're looking at the Balkans. Let's get that map back up. So Austria-Hungary are kind of looking at the Balkan countries, these smaller ones, thinking, you know, we can add that to our empire and get bigger and stronger and more powerful. So, as I say, Austria-Hungary really take advantage of the situation with the Ottoman Empire breaking up and becoming weaker. So in 1908, they took control, well, they annexed Bosnia, so that's the key word, annexed, which, get that back up. So annexed basically means take control of, annexed, okay, and add to your empire. So they annexed Bosnia, took control of it. Now this really angered Serbia, really annoyed Serbia, who had wanted Bosnia to, well, to belong to them, really. Serbia wanted to join with Bosnia because a lot of people living in Bosnia were Serbs, or Bosnian Serbs. So Serbia were like, well, you know, we should be joined together because we're very similar countries, and Bosnia and Austria-Hungary aren't. And a lot of people, as I say, who lived in Bosnia were Serbian or considered themselves Serbs anyway. Now Russia are also annoyed. They support Serbia in this situation and kind of share the anger and the annoyance with what's happened, and they protest to Austria-Hungary. They say, what have you done this for? You shouldn't have done this. We demand an international conference to sort this issue out, much like we'd had in the Moroccan crisis that I talked about before, the first Moroccan crisis. So Russia say, let's have a conference to discuss Austria-Hungary's actions that we don't agree with. We agree with our ally Serbia, so let's sort this out. However, unfortunately for Russia, Germany support Austria-Hungary. Germany and Austria-Hungary very close allies. Germany kind of sweep in and you know, back up Austria-Hungary. And so we've essentially got Germany and Austria-Hungary on one side and Serbia and Russia on the other. Now, Russia and Serbia were not ready for war with Germany, basically. They thought, we don't really want this situation to blow up into a full-scale war because we just can't. We're not going to win. So they had to back down. Russia had to back down, and therefore so did Serbia, and just let Austria-Hungary keep Bosnia, which, you know, wasn't good news for Serbia or for Russia. Now the consequences, and that's it. That's the events. Yeah, the events are Austria-Hungary annexes Bosnia in 1908, and Serbia aren't very happy about it and make a big fuss and get Russia to join in with them. But Austria-Hungary keeps control anyway because Germany come in to defend them. But what are the consequences? This is the key thing, really. The consequences of the Bosnian crisis, the things that you really do need to know. Now, the main consequence of this, much like the Moroccan crises that I talked about in my previous video, the main consequence of this is it really amps up tension again, particularly in the Balkans. There's real tension between those countries that I've just mentioned, Germany and Austria-Hungary against Russia and Serbia. There's real tension in the Balkans, which is not good news. Serbia were determined still to take Bosnia off Austria-Hungary. They've backed down, but they haven't really let it drop. They still want to take control of Bosnia again and not let Austria-Hungary keep it. And the tension, as I've said, between Russia and Germany was obviously a lot worse as they both stepped in to defend their allies. So Russia and Germany already aren't mad keen on each other, and now this incident has just caused even more tension between those two countries. And it actually kind of encourages Russia to start looking for allies herself. It draws her closer to Britain and France. Another key consequence was the growth of nationalism. Okay, remember nationalism, like this fierce love of your country. It's like supercharged patriotism, if you will, and you want to be independent, particularly if you're in a country like Bosnia. So a growth of nationalism, where many Serbs who were living in Bosnia, now obviously under Austro-Hungarian rule, were determined to break free from Austria-Hungary and join Serbia. And obviously one of the many nationalist groups that formed were famously the Black Hand, who were of course responsible for the assassination of the Austro-Hungarian Archduke Franz Ferdinand in June 1914, and that's obviously the trigger really for the First World War. So hopefully that explains what happened, what the Bosnian crisis is, and why it's so significant and the consequences of it in particular. That's all you need to know for the Bosnian crisis. Hopefully, as I say, it's cleared up some confusion. This is probably going to be the last video I make before your exams year 10, because I'm not really going to have time to do any this weekend. If I do, I'll try, but it's probably going to be the last one before the exams. I have had a few more requests, so sorry if I don't manage to get around to making any more. But all the videos are here up on the First World War playlist, so have a look at those. They'll be useful for the 6 markers and the 16 markers in particular, the ones where you need to have a good knowledge. Remember, the 8 markers are just source questions, so knowledge is less important in those questions. But as I say, keep revising, keep using the videos. I'll be around, obviously, in school in my classroom, so if you want to come and ask me some questions, I'll be there. But other than that, I wish you the very best of luck in the exams next week. I'll see you before then anyway, but I wish you the very best of luck. And as I say, keep revising, and I will see you very soon.